Hello, Internet, and welcome to the 18th episode of the Twinstiq podcast. This is a pretty fun podcast that Trish, Greywolf, and Screwloose put together for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. This episode is brought to you by Flatteners. Flatteners is your one-stop service for any land flattening needs that you may require. If you go outside and see lumps on the grass in front of your apartment and or house, call Flatteners at 1-800-FLATTEN-IT. And they will come right over, charge you a pretty minimal price. They're not too bad. Used them myself. They bring out this nifty little tool and they flatten your land, as demonstrated here. This isn't a video game. It is an actual service you can use, I promise. So, with no further ado, Twinstiq Podcast, episode number 18.
I spend like 3 hours freaking flattening this land.
That's the one. That's the one.
I hate trees.
This is the video. The video is going to be test night flattening land in some city. That's going to be the video.
That's all I'm going to do.
We're
like
not
2
gonna
hours later, be like, hey, did you have this section done?
We're not going to do anything else today. This is going to be like it. So, tonight's playing some city.
No talking.
We're talking. This is the Twinstiq podcast. I am Lost Wolf / Grey Wolf. It depends on who you ask. And I have with me Screwloose, and I have Tonight, who is flattening the land.
I'm just flattening this land.
And that's all we're going to do
Just
today.
flattening land.
That's all we're going to do.
I'm so mad because I want flat cities, but I'm taking away all the trees. I'm such an asshole.
That's fine. So let's start with what everyone's been playing. Tonight, you haven't been playing anything because it's been a bit weird for you.
Well, I've had, like I said, the past 2 weeks, I've had everybody in my family come over to my house and just stay in my house because apparently it's a good idea to do. But I did pick up Rainbow Six Siege. I played a little bit of that, and I did pick up the new Need for Speed, which I'm head over heels for, because that's going back into my classic days of Need for Speed. And there's cops in there. There's cops. It makes it so fun.
Yeah.
But not a whole bunch of gaming. Just been what I can actually like send 5-10 minutes on. Oh, it's dark. I can't see. Oh, there it is. Never mind. We're good. We're good. Fuck these trees. Fuck.
I can't flatten land in the dark, guys.
I gotta put some trees back. I feel so bad right now. Look at these forests. I'm such a good person. Don't hate me. Right.
Is that what you've been up to? Is that about it? You've
Yeah,
also been playing World of Warcraft again a little bit. Sure.
I
Do you
did.
even want to talk about that?
I want to talk about... Well, okay, so with World of Warcraft, and I told Gray this morning, and this is what we kind of talked about before we came and started recording, which we shouldn't do, but we did anyway. Oh, there's horses. There's wild animals. What the... I race changed my panda yesterday, because I had hit a point where I was like, I cannot deal with pandas anymore. They're absolutely terrible. And you guys can hate me
wait,
if you
hang
want.
on. You need to make the distinction. It wasn't the male panda, it was the female panda.
It was the female panda, and a lot of people are like, oh, but they're so cute. They've got the caramel dancing land. No. No. I'm so done with your bullshit. I've never been tired of a character's animations until I had my panda. And then I was like, I can't do this. Oh, what should I name the city?
I don't know. All I can think of is bad names. Flatlandia.
Flatlandia, that's what I was just going to say.
Flatlandia. And we're going to make it easy. Mayor name. What's my mayor name?
Tonight. You're the mayor.
No.
I mean,
No, I need an awesome mayor name.
an awesome mayor name. Or straight line, since it's Flatlandia.
Mayor. Awesome mayor name. Alright, we're good. Alright. I gotta zone some stuff.
Okay. So you have gotten back into World of Warcraft and you're busy setting up, as far as I understand it, a transmog set for that guy.
Yeah, that's right now my current goal because there's nothing else really going on in this game.
No, because
So-
we're in a lull now before Legion. Is there anything else you're doing? Any other big projects in World of Warcraft apart from just a transmog?
Just running old raids. I know you were mount farming, Gray. Congrats on your mount.
I'm still mount farming.
You're still mount farming.
I do that every week because it's a lot of money. and I'm putting the money towards becoming sustainable, so I never have to buy a subscription again. So the plan is that over the course of the next 2 months, I will get my guy to a point where basically he doesn't have to leave his garrison, and he'll just pull in money, and that's how I'll afford the subscription. And then in between that, I will do what I want to do, which is basically I'm farming for old mounts. Things that I've seen drop before and then was kind enough to let everyone else have. So, like, I've seen once or twice the Phoenix mount, Ashes of Allah. I've seen that drop once or twice in my entire raiding career, and then I went back and I farmed that and I got it in my third try. But that's, that doesn't say anything, because before they started tracking stats, I'd been doing that run off and on for a while with friends. So, it's probably closer to 60 runs or something. And then, like, I started picking off things like Firelands, because I never did that. I got out of the raiding thing after vanilla, basically. I was helping friends during BC, and after BC I was just like, I can't anymore. Please, no. So, I have gone back and I've now done like everything that I've missed, basically. So I sat down, and in the space of kind of 2 weeks I went through Ulduar except for Yog-O, which I can't do. It's not that it's a difficult fight, it's just that it's a timed fight, and I hate those. And then I did Lich King Heroic, because I'm doing the mount. I'm doing Firelands, but it's all just for money most of the time. And that's what I'm doing with my World of Warcraft account. Otherwise,
it's something to do.
Yeah.
Good as thing to do in there as any. That's pretty much what I did after I stopped playing for a while. You just get bored with doing everything and go, fuck it, I'm just gonna go
do one thing and stick
farm.
to it. Right.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, one of the things that I'm mainly focused on farming mounts now, but one of the things I never did for my transmog, because I had my transmog already set up, is I didn't ever have a staff for it, because I just don't care about the way weapons look. It does nothing for me. So I went to go find a staff that kind of matches the rest of my Dungeon 1 set, and that's what I'm gonna just wear forever.
Right on.
That works.
But yeah, I've been playing World of Warcraft. I've been neglecting everything else, because that's just what I do. I get a little bit full tilt and I do one thing and then I should neglect everything else. So I'm still playing Anchor, I'm still playing Police Quest 3, I'm still playing Okami.
Don't lie to me about Inca.
I'm gonna finish it. I've decided. I put it up on a video where I said that I'm gonna actually finish it before the end of this year, and that's now live in front of 150 other people who are my subscribers. It has to happen. So somewhere between now and December 31, I'm gonna have to finish that game. Police Quest 3, I haven't started Gateway properly. I should. I finished the Hearthstone Adventures for League of Explorers. I thought the last two fights were okay. I like the idea that he steals your deck, but then you have to like make your deck really awful so that you can win.
He's Mr. Steal Your Deck.
Sorry?
There's a song, Mr. Steal Your Girl. In this case, it's Mr. Steal Your Deck.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's about it. Not much else to tell. Schoolers, tell us about you. You haven't been playing too much Rocket League anymore, right?
No, I haven't touched Rocket League since, I don't
That's
know, 2 or 3
sad.
podcasts
I'm sorry.
back. Yeah, it sucks, because I really like the game, and the new stuff has come out for it, the new DLC, and it looks really fun, but I just don't want to play with freaking levers, dude. I just don't want to do it.
That's right.
And on a side note, it's starting to snow here pretty hard, so if I suddenly leave, it's because the power went out.
Okay. Fair enough.
But at any rate, I am playing a lot of Just Cause 3, and pretty much only Just Cause 3.
Okay.
It's been an awful lot of fun. But I think I'm just about done with the story, so I want to finish it so I can get back to doing like Hard West and
yeah, because you said you were quite enjoying Hard West when you were playing it.
Yeah, Hard West is really good. It's got a very good story, really cool. And still playing Fallout 4 here and there. again, I'll probably get back into that once Just Cause 3 is over, just because I'll be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, Just Cause 3 has been a lot of fun. It's been really cool.
And my understanding is that, I mean, most of the people who finish Fallout 4 just, like, disgusted at the ending, so I don't think you have to worry too much about it.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. I still want to check. I mean, I'm sure there's probably more than one ending.
There are 4. There are 4 possible endings. But they're all, like, basically variations on a theme. You see, like, a collection of things, and each... because you'd probably deep into it enough now to know that there are factions, and endings are just, this is the slightly different perspective of this faction's ending.
Yeah, each faction has a different ending. Yeah.
So, it's Bethesda all over again.
Yeah, I don't really care about the ending. I just want to go through it because the game is interesting to me. It took a while to get interesting, but it is interesting.
Yeah.
And regardless, I'm enjoying it. I still think it's cool. I think it was more or less worth the purchase. I didn't buy it. Cody bought it for me for my birthday, but I think if it was still worth it. I was excited about it, and I mean, I don't think it would have hurt my feelings if I had missed it.
Yeah.
Until it's on sale, I still would be like, I want to play it because everybody on my Steam list, there's days when you start up, 9 people on your list are playing Fallout 4, and you're like, you sons of bitches, I want to play this game. But anyway, no, but Just Cause 3, man, let me tell you something, man. That game it's fun. It's the same as Just Cause 1 and 2. It's exactly the same thing. You just run around with your grappling hook and your parachute, and you blow shit up, and that's it. There's really nothing else going on. But it's so much fun, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And this actually seems to have a little more story than the other games did.
Right.
Or it's easier to follow, or I'm just paying attention. I don't know, but it's been really fun. I'm really enjoying that. I've got a lot of time in it. I did. I don't know if you guys read the article. I did a lap around the island of Medici in a boat.
Oh, that's
just to see how big it was.
How long did that take?
The island. It took about 48 minutes and 20 seconds.
Oh, that's not bad. So it's pretty big.
Yeah, the map, the whole map is 400 square miles.
Okay.
Is a pretty good size map. The island itself is about 216. I'm trying to remember. I've got the article up here. I can tell you. It is 216 square miles is 559 square kilometers is the
Fair
island.
Enough. Okay.
It's big. It's big enough. And I compared it to roughly compared it to the size of the Isle of Man. It's about that big.
That's pretty cool.
So it's pretty neat. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And there's a lot of stuff to do actually. I mean, there's more than just
blow stuff up.
There's more than just blow stuff up. I mean, it all equates to blow stuff up, but there's like challenges and races, and you can do things to unlock more powerful gear and stuff, which is good. You don't have to buy it. That's nice. You don't have to unlock stuff for DLC. There's challenges, and one thing I had a lot of fun with is there's like a is part of the story is uncovering a plot to refine this ore called bavarium. Okay, and basically it's like a natural nuclear substance on this island. Essentially, is what it is. And so there's a challenge where you use your grappling hook and you attach this basically a big magnet to the back of whatever vehicle they give you, and you drive around and collect this stuff and drop it in a pit. While the military is trying to stop you from doing that, and it's really fun.
That sounds cool.
It sounds ridiculous and stupid, but it's
but I mean that's the whole thing behind Just Cause 3. It's like, or Just Cause in general. Every video I've watched is basically, this is the game. It's all about mayhem. Cause as much mayhem as you can.
Yeah, it's a destruction sandbox is what it is. It's so cool. And I'm not absolutely sure of this because I haven't looked at credits or anything for the game, but we were talking briefly earlier with Jessica Jones and David Tennant was brought up, and I believe he's part of the voice cast in Just Cause 3. I think he's the radio announcer
That's cool.
for the Island of Medici's legal like propaganda
Yeah.
radio.
Right.
I think that's him. I may be wrong, but I haven't confirmed that. But there's a lot of liberation to do. Like that's the whole thing is cause mayhem
Right.
and liberate from the dictatorship and there's it's fun. It's fun. Anybody that likes the other games is going to love this, and I recommend it.
That's cool.
It's cool, and it has the best ocean I've seen in a game.
Okay,
it's
yeah.
very, very realistic. Such a cool thing. Now Cody hates boats, right? Because I was trying to show him when he was here last Wednesday. He hates boats. He gets seasick and motion sick real easy, I guess.
Aw, I'm sorry. That's sad.
Yeah. But so I was like, you got to see this water, and I had to do it from way high up.
Yeah,
And
so that you could
just
actually see
skydive
that.
from-
Yeah.
So you could actually look at it. But it's cool because you can see way down into it when it's real clear and
Okay.
deeper areas, and there's coral reefs, and it's cool. It's really cool. A lot of details. Anyway, that's basically what I've been playing is Just Cause 3, and that's about it, really. I want to play the others again, but I really kind of like you. I've just sort of gotten myopic in one thing and just gone like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for
and
now.
this is it, and like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the rest, but they're just gonna have to wait.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so we talked about games that we are playing. There's stuff that we're all sort of hesitantly looking forward to. I don't know if that's the right word to say exactly, but tonight you want us to talk about Final Fantasy?
The Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
That was announced. The video was released.
Okay, but to
don't
be
know how
fair,
many
we've known
people-
about that since E3.
Well, yeah, we've known about it E3, but we're finally getting to see gameplay.
Okay.
We're finally getting to see characters. We're told that we're getting a complete new battle system.
That's not good.
It's honestly, I don't know what they're doing with it yet. I know for a fact that we're getting a new battle system. There is, what is there? We're just now learning that they're probably going to have to canon a little bit of the story.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not a whole bunch of development yet. I guess I got really excited about the release trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing that I understand, I haven't been paying attention too much because, like, to me, if you want to go play that game, you just go and grab the discs and you play that game. I understand that they're gonna split it up into parts.
Right now I've heard about 3 to 4 parts.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly they're going to be doing with it, but I heard that there is going to be 4 parts in release. But I think that's more just hey, we want people to buy 4 different things.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Pretty much what it boils down to. Because what it will be is it will be like Dreamfall chapters where they'll say, okay, you can buy a season pass, and it will cost X, but then if you want to, you can buy in as the episode's release. And knowing Square Enix, what that will mean is that, like if you buy the season pass, it will be slightly cheaper, and if you buy the bits 1, 2, 3, and 4, it will be slightly more, because that's Square Enix, you know. It just has that written all over it.
Great. Well, Square Enix wasn't that bad for a while. I mean, for a while they were just producing games left and right.
Hang on. They put Final Fantasy 3 up on the Android market for $15. That game is how old now?
Yeah.
And you know how many people still bought it?
Which is ridiculous, by the way. People don't do that to yourselves. Just, if Square Enix says, we're putting up a game based on your nostalgia, and it's going to cost deals, don't buy it. Listen to Uncle Lost Wolf. He knows what he's talking about.
I literally, all I heard from you was, hey, go out and buy it.
Don't do that. Just stop it. You're making it harder for everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Because all that means is that what's going to happen is that people... And those games... I mean, okay, so those games are maybe still kind of worth it for the people who care. But the thing is that you're not going to get any new players invested in them. You know, you're not. You're going to be selling to an old audience that is entrenched already, that are going to go, hey, it's Final Fantasy 3. That's great. I want to play it again.
I don't completely agree with you on that. I think there's going to be, since my generation was that generation that that game came out with, I'm going to say that there are going to be parents that are going to be playing this game to show their kids how cool these games used to be with new
Yes.
graphics.
Yeah, but that's the
Yeah.
point I'm making. The
Now,
parents showing that off are the entrenched people. They're going to be saying, "Hey, look, I bought this game. It's really cool. You should check it out." And then the kid will look at it and go, "Actually, that's not so bad." And that might be a convert, but there are only going to be a few of those, and they're going to be far between. So, parents who are doing
Well,
that,
not
stop
only
doing
that,
it.
but they're going to see it. Not only that, but they're going to see it in the newer, like
Yes.
you say, newer graphics and newer style. It's not going to be like it used to be. It's going to be different.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's not so bad.
they'll
I mean,
look back and say, "Oh, well, all those games must be just like this," and they're not.
and
just
then
like
they're not. And then it's a bit of a surprise when they're not.
Yeah.
That's not so bad because at this point we've had a lot of remakes. So at this point, I feel like if you've been in the industry for long enough and you have seen gaming for a while, you already know about the trend towards remastering and remaking, which is quite funny because when that started happening in the 90s, the backlash was pretty bad. People didn't like that people were doing that, and they were like, "Don't do that." But it took 10 years, and here we are. We're making remakes.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that we're just out of ideas. Like it's hard to come up with an original idea anymore. Everybody's already got it.
There's other factors to it too. The other factors are, like, for example, it's a cost and time thing. If you have to choose between an established IP that's already made you money and all you're doing is taking the assets and modernizing it, that's like way cheaper than saying, okay, we're gonna make a whole new game with a new IP, with a new character, with a new everything from scratch, which costs more. And the other thing is that for the most part, unless you're doing what Square is doing, because Square for the longest time fought against a Final Fantasy VII remake, they just said there was no way they were going to ever be able to do it because of the way the game was made with the pre-rendered backgrounds and the 3D sprites. They would have to redo all the backgrounds. It wasn't the 3D polygons that were the problem. The characters, that wasn't a problem because they were just polygons that you could upscale and downscale as you wanted because they were 3D vectors basically.
Yeah,
And
they were 3D objects. Yeah.
yeah, so the big problem was that they'd have to take all the backgrounds and redo them, and Square knew that it was going to be a costly process. Just to sit down and redo every single environment, either in a 3D manner or in a 2D manner that looked like the old game did, would cost too much. They were always just up until E3 this year. They're just like, no, they're not going to do it. They're not interested. It's going to cost too much money. It's going to take too much time. And then I think a collection of things happened, most notably Final Fantasy 13, and that tanked them. There was just nothing they could do to get back from that. And then they're like, okay, well, we know that you love Final Fantasy 7 and you'll buy it. Here, we'll make it again.
Yeah.
I think that's what's behind that decision.
I'm sort of excited for that. I don't know that I'm really excited for that because I still have Final Fantasy VII somewhere around here, and I can just install it. Play
that's
it
kind of
again.
my point. Is if you want to play that game, chances are you probably still have the old discs. Just play that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know that they put Final Fantasy VII up on Steam for a while ago, and they're like, yeah, you can buy what are essentially cheat codes to make you better, faster.
I actually might have it in my library on Steam. I don't remember.
Okay.
I have well over 200 games in my Steam library, so.
Okay. I'm chasing you.
Hard to remember them all.
I'm chasing you. I'm probably at 300 games in my COG library. So that's Final Fantasy VII. Is there anything else anyone wants to say about that?
A game that I always liked very much, maybe even more than Final Fantasy. I don't know if I'm going to say 7, but in general, just there was a game called Septerra Core.
Oh, Septerra Core is quite good.
Very much. Yeah, that was a good game. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've never actually played. I'm gonna say this now, and everyone's gonna hate me, but I've never actually finished Final Fantasy VII, and the reason why I've never finished Final Fantasy VII has a lot to do with Cloud. I don't like Cloud. Like everyone else in that game, I can even stomach Barrett, but Cloud, he's so, like, he's so distant.
Yeah,
And
the
he's
main
so,
characters in Final Fantasy games tend to be idiots.
yes,
In general, they're just like these naive,
right,
like clueless people, and I think they build it that way on purpose. But
maybe.
yeah, I kind of agree. I like it anyways, but I never finished it either, and I never finished it because I apparently played it wrong and I didn't develop my characters fully. So by the time I got to the bosses, I just couldn't kill them.
That's true. Because the end game for that game is again one of those things where you have to just sit and grind until you're at like level 99 or whatever, and then you go and you stomp the end boss. Although it helps a lot to go and grind for Ruby and Emerald weapon, but like no one has the time for that unless you're hellbent on doing that, you know. Because getting those two weapons.
I remember it
difficult.
just being hard enough for me to find the stupid black chocobo so I could run across the water. Excuse me.
Oh God.
Travel on the maps. I thought that was like awful doing those chocobo races and stuff. If I remember, that's the way, right? I'm trying to remember if that's the right game.
It's not as bad as Final Fantasy 2. I keep on bringing this up because this is just how it is. In Final Fantasy 2, there's only one square on the entire map where you can get the chocobo. One square.
Yeah, I remember that.
One square. Now you like in order to know this, you would have to bump into that square, or you need a guide.
Yeah.
So there you go. Which also kind of segues us nicely because we're talking about Final Fantasy VII and how it's going to be split up into 4 parts. You want to talk about XCOM 2?
Yeah, XCOM 2 is coming out, which I'm still excited for, regardless of what I'm going to say about this. I will buy it. In fact, I'm probably going to even pre-order it because I do pre-orders in a sense of I've got the money to throw at it right now, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and get it over with. That's how I use pre-order.
Right.
They've already got DLC for the game. That's the big thing, right? It's not even coming out until February, and there's already a DLC pack for it, and it's $20. The game,
and that will probably
it's $20.
It will probably ship on day one.
$20.
The DLC in the game will probably be available on the same day.
It's available right now. You can buy it right now.
No, but what I mean is that the DLC will be turned on.
Oh yeah.
On day one,
there's a certain amount of pre-order DLC that you get, a pre-order like access pack, right? Which is the stupid. I hate that stuff.
Me too.
But then there's also the DLC pack. It's a themed elements basically is all it is.
Oh boy.
Skins and there is a specific couple of soldiers I guess that you can get.
Yeah, they did
that are a little more powerful or something like that or whatever.
I remember that they did that for XCOM, the new XCOM 1. Where there was a pre-order for a while where you could get the original Squaddy, and he was just a bolt-on. I don't think he was any more powerful or less powerful, but he had the original XCOM customizations, and they were selling that as part of if you pre-ordered.
Yeah, this advertises. I don't have the information up here anymore. I'd have to quit the broadcast to see it, but it says something along the lines of. These soldiers will impact the game based on such and such. So it basically just means that they can change the way the game feels to you. I don't know if it actually means they're more powerful or not, but
yeah.
But there are other weapons.
That sounds
I guess,
like advertising speak for yes, these will be more powerful.
Yeah, that's more or less what I thought too. But I mean, I don't really like that at all.
No,
actually, I think that's terrible. I think that if you're going to have that stuff already made, then it should be in the game when you buy the game. You shouldn't have to pay another $20. The game is already $60.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay another $20, so it's going to be 70. What was the whole thing was 74 something, probably 74.99. That makes more sense. But I just don't understand that. I really hate that stuff.
Me too.
It drives me insane. But like I said, I'll probably still buy it because I probably won't do the DLC.
Yeah.
I will probably do the and get whatever pre-order stuff.
Right.
Because it's just I just will have the money to do it if that's what it's going to be.
Right. The only
But that is something I'm really excited about because the XCOM games are very good, and this looks like it follows the same build.
Yeah.
There's a new engine, so it's a little bit different, but it looks like it's still going to be this awesome game, and I'm really looking forward to it. I just hate that they're doing that, and I'm going to support that begrudgingly
Yeah.
because I'm
Right.
going to probably.
I mean, I wanted to give for excess money for XCOM 1, but then they were like, it's on Steam and that's the only way it's coming out. And that was when I shrugged and went, well, sorry, then you just lost my money. I mean, that was an easy sale. Because I played a bit of it at a buddy of mine's house, but then I went to a store and looked at the back. Unlike the time I walked into the store and saw, oh, Civilization 5, everyone says that's awesome, and bought it without thinking. Like, literally, just, here's the box, and the guy scanned the box, and he gave me the box, and I gave him money, and I walked out the store, and I got home, and I tore open the package, and I was all gung-ho to put it in my drive, and it installed. It got all the way, 95% of the way installed, using, like, a regular installer, and then it said, to get the last 5%, you need to install Steam. I was like,
Oh yeah.
that's odd. But I installed Steam because it's like, well, maybe I can play it without Steam. No, you can't. Now it's there, and Steam is yours for life. Hello.
Yeah.
So I felt a little conned.
Well, see, I don't mind Steam. The issue I have with Steam is they don't have any quality control.
No. Oh God, they really don't.
That's my only problem with Steam, and it's a big problem. But it's only a big problem if you're really looking at the old stuff, which I know that's what you do. So that's probably why you don't like Steam so much.
Well, there's two problems. The one problem is that they have no quality control over the old stuff, and the second thing is that they just let early access games run rampant. Now, fortunately, with a lot of that stuff, there's downvoting, and you can do that, but they should be saying, at this point, you shouldn't be on green light or early access or any of those things because no one wants your game. They should just shut those projects down. But oh well, what can you do?
I initially I liked that because it gave independent developers a good way to support a project.
Yeah.
But then it sort of seemed like maybe they were abusing that because they they would start a project and then get the money and then cancel the project and then they've just got their money, right? I was like, no, I'm not doing that because I bought a couple of early access titles and I think they were ones that went through completion.
Okay. Things like Kerbal Space Program.
Well, yeah, I haven't got that. I do want that. I remember seeing that for a long time, going, "Oh, that looks really cool," and I never bought it. But there were a couple of them. I don't even remember what they are. But yeah, they were pretty neat, and I think they actually went through and they were cool, and it turns out it was worth buying them. But yeah, there are quite a few that have just been canceled, and then you basically are stuck with a broken game you paid for.
Right. Space-based DF9. Space-based DF9. Which brings me to Double Fine. Oh, God. So, for those of you who don't know, Double Fine, before they were Double Fine, made Psychonauts. I don't remember who they made that as. Might have been Double Fine. Anyway, so, no, I don't think they were. I don't remember. Anyway, so they made this game, and that was all fine, and everyone really likes Psychonauts. And then Tim Schafer and his Sordid History, he was like, let's make a couple of other games, and he got them made through Kickstarter, and that's the whole Sordid Sorry Other affair. So now what he's doing is, I don't know if he thinks, no, I know he thinks the Kickstarter is broken, because his take on it, the reviews, the interview I read says, a problem that he has with Kickstarter is that people think that it's kind of an investment, and then they don't get anything out. Yes.
Damn it. I just ruined everything.
Oh, did you?
No, I was going to say, that was an accident, I think.
Can't you undo it?
No.
Isn't there an undo button?
No, destroyed.
Destroy. There should be an undo button. That makes no sense. What did you do? Did you put like a harbor down, but it was in the wrong place?
I don't know how to make a road to this thing. I'm supposed to, these people keep fucking polluting everything. I have water pollution taken care of. I don't know how to take care of air pollution. I have like all of 15 people living in this city right now, and
Okay.
everything is so polluted. I mean, they're just like shitting in the streets. I don't know what to do here.
Well,
That's what you're supposed to do.
if you had a creature and this was what's that game's name?
Mm.
I can see the box in my head. I just can't see it. What it's called. But anyway, if you had that particular game and you had trained your creature, all you have to do is tell the creature, go kill these people.
No, right? Well, I only have 15 people. I have a road to the next zone, so I can try to get more people to come in and live in my town. And they're
Oh,
like, "Fuck you! I'm
I'm
not coming in your new town."
I'm looking at my boxes of games. It's black and white. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
Oh, black and white.
Yeah, you tell your creature, go kill these people, and then problem solved.
Yeah,
Um,
black and white was pretty cool.
it was. I could never get the hang of training the creature, and so inevitably he turned out to be a monster and a madman, and he killed all my people.
It was more like black and black.
Yes, and like he turned primeval and crazy, and that was that. Psychonauts 1 came out, and everyone really liked Psychonauts 1, and then Tim Schafer went, okay, we'll make a couple other games, and he got them done on Kickstarter, and they were delayed and over budget and all that stuff. And so now he's trying a different thing, because he thinks that the way Kickstarter is, people expect it to be an investment, but it's not, so they don't get anything back for the release of the game. So now he's trying a new thing that he has started with a couple of other developers called Fig or Leaf or something. I don't know. Someone should look it up because I might be giving you misinformation. But the whole point of this particular crowdfunding situation is that if you put money in and they sell, you will get something out. Okay. So, to do this, to get money to extort money out of people for, because basically what he's doing is preying on your nostalgia. That's what he's doing. To get money out of people, he was like, how am I going to do that? Oh, I know. I'll put Psychonauts 2 up. Now, the thing about Psychonauts 2 is that he's been talking about it off and on for a while. He went to Notch. Yes,
it is. Sorry to interrupt you. It is called Fig.
Oh, Fig, thank you.
Yes.
So, he didn't actually go to Notch. He was talking about Psychonauts 2 on Twitter, and Notch sounded like he was interested. And so Tim Schafer took the conversation up with him, because in the conversation, Tim Schafer said, it'll cost a couple of $1 million to make. So Notch said, explain to me what is a couple of million. And Tim Schafer said,
Yeah, right.
18 million. And
18. Yeah,
Tim,
that's a couple.
and then Notch was like, that's not really a couple. That's a couple times 9. He's not actually interested,
Yeah.
sorry. Because his take on it was that if he's going to invest that amount of money, he really has to do the homework, and he has to find out, exactly what it's going to cost. And he was being a sane investor. He was saying, look, in order for me to invest in your proposal, we're going to have to do a proper sit down and talk about it. And then there's going to have to be oversight and all that sort of stuff. So that fell apart. So then he went to Fig, and he put up Psychonauts 2, and he said, he just wants 3.3 million. That's all he wants. And the internet gave him money. I'm so unimpressed with you, internet.
Yeah.
I'm so unimpressed with you. Anyway, so I don't know if he's funded yet.
Now, is he using Fig to also remaster Day of the Tentacle and all that kind of stuff?
I don't know,
Because I know those are coming back.
but someone told me not so long ago that they're going to do a remaster of Full Throttle. I don't know how that's going to work, because probably what they're going to have to do, that the guy who was the voice actor for Full Throttle is dead now. So I think that what they will have to do is they will have to buy the recording rights to his voice, and they will have to put that in that way, which means that they can't really do a different script. That's what it means.
Well, if unless they just get a new voice actor.
Yeah, but it won't be the same. I don't know if that will work out.
Right.
Because remember, he's preying on your nostalgia, and part of the big thing with Full Throttle is Ben's voice. Okay, so I'm not really impressed with Tim Schafer, but we already knew I wasn't. But internet, please stop giving this man money. Like, even this is so much a thing that even J.C. Cox went up on Twitter and said, "Guys, be more careful."
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not J.C. Cox. J.C. Cox doesn't normally do that. But if he sees that there's something amiss, then maybe we need to have second or third thoughts about giving people money like this.
If he said that, then
Yes, exactly. It's crazy. But I mean, that's fine. Does anyone else have any thoughts about it? We know my thoughts about it now. Anyone else? Do you have any thoughts about this whole debacle?
I didn't realize it was quite as predatory as it seems to be now, because I didn't know anything about it. All I heard about was remasters for these, and I I fell into that sort of, oh, this will be cool, because I played all those. Well, I never played Day of the Tentacle. I didn't even know that existed until.
Oh, it's
just
a very
few
good
weeks
game.
ago.
It's actually worth playing. Like from end to end, just sit yourself down one day.
Yeah, and see, that's what I hear, because I played Maniac Mansion, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's like that, but it's way better."
It
And I was
is
like, "Oh,
much
okay, well."
better. Because you know how in Day of the Tentacle you could, because this was before they made their manifesto. In Day of the Tentacle, there were a couple of ways that you could die, and there are a couple of ways you could get horrendously stuck, right? They took all that out. It doesn't exist anymore. There's no way for you to get stuck. There's no way for you to die, and the plot's really cool, and the time travel device is really awesome, and the way they use the time travel and the puzzles is amazing. It's worth playing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And I probably will be one of those that buys the remaster when it comes out, because I'm going to be interested in that. But I do agree with the don't give him more money, because he said, oh, 18 million, well, maybe 3.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
basically what he's saying to you is he's saying he will do what he did with Double Fine Adventure, which is Broken Age eventually. He said, we only need like 500,000 to make this game happen. He got 3.3 million. He blew through the 3.3 million. He shipped one half of a game. Then he had to go back to Kickstarter or whatever it was to get more money to make the second half of the game, so that he could release the whole thing, Act 1 and Act 2. So
and I don't understand why that game costs that much money.
No,
because there's
nothing
about it that says that to me.
It looks like an old LucasArts game, and to make those, there was a point where they cost a lot of money because you had to have pre-made art, okay? And I can understand that pushed the budget up, but we're not in that world anymore. You can get things that will make 3D environments pretty easily at this point. And you can get reasonable voice acting now, which you couldn't do at the beginning of the computer game age, because there just wasn't any voice acting available. So you had to go to Hollywood.
That wasn't a thing.
Yeah, but now it's like 30 years later, and there are voice acting schools, and you can say, you know what, I want to take a couple of undergrads, and I want to put them into my game and give them a voice acting career. I won't have to pay them a lot, but I will have to pay them something. And so it boggles my mind that people keep on saying to Tim Schafer, here's money, I'm throwing money at my screen. Yeah, go, make more games.
Yeah.
Stop that, internet.
I love you.
Stop it, internet. He makes good games. I mean, I'm not going to say that he doesn't.
Yeah. Double Fine has made good title. Like, now that I'm trying to think of it, I can't think of it. The one with Jack Black and all the rock stars and stuff.
Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend.
I love that game. It was fun.
It was janky, but it was fun. Stacking is really a good idea. Costume Quest is a good idea. I wasn't so thrilled about Space-Based DF9, but that's because it has its own set of problems. I thought some of the games out of the Amnesia Fortnite games were pretty good. I thought that what was the thing? Massive Chalice was an interesting idea. It was very empty and shallow, but it was an interesting idea. So I
never even looked at Massive Chalice.
Okay, they don't make bad games. That's not the problem. The problem is that what he should be doing, and internet, you're not letting him do this. He should be going, I've made one game, I've sold n number of copies, it's funding my next game.
Yeah.
He should become self-sufficient. You're not letting him become self-sufficient, internet. Stop doing that. So anyway, that's my Tim Schafer rant.
No, that's true. It's not it's not a company when it's just everybody giving him cash for making
Yeah.
more stuff. He's just it's all crowdfunded. So yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I mean, I would have less of a problem with this if he did what Harebrained Schemes is doing. Harebrained Schemes uses crowdfunding in a proper manner, where what they do is they set out, these are what we're going to do, these are the exact things, the specifications that we're going to do. We're going to live within the budgetary constraints, and we're going to release the product on time. Okay? You're going to get your game, everything's going to be cool. That's why Harebrained Schemes keeps on making money, because every time they go to Kickstarter, everyone knows now that they've successfully kickstarted, they made the game on time, they made it according to the specifications, and they've released all their backer pledges and all that stuff. So every time Harebrained says, we need you to help us make a new game, people know that they've thrown in some of their own money to begin with. In other words, they've taken their last project, which became solvent, and they've thrown more money at this new project. They're asking you to help finish it off, which means that the project is far enough along that they have a good idea.
They're committed to it.
Yeah, that the project has a good scope, and they know what they can do and they can't do. Like if you looked at the MechWarrior thing that they were planning, they knew that, for example, one of the things that they wanted to do was they wanted to throw in multiplayer first and then story campaign afterwards. But they budgeted that out. They said, this is what you're going to get. Okay? So it's not like it's a bunch of unknowns. And that is my kind of...
They do put it up front. So,
yeah, and that is kind of my problem with Tim Schafer. With Double Fine Adventure, we didn't really know what was going to happen with that game. With Massive Chalice, we had an idea, but there were no prototypes or anything, and that kind of thing. So you guys need to be a little more careful with your money, Internet. That's all I'm saying. Tonight, do you have anything to say about this whole Sorry Saga? You've been very quiet.
I have been quiet. I don't know the saga that I haven't played any of those real games. Like, the only one that I've honestly played is Brutal Legend. I have not been a huge fan of that series, that actual person. So I'm just going to let you guys just kind of cover it. So, I mean, you guys did great. Props to you. I've never really been a huge person of those games, so.
Okay, that's fine.
Anything bad. You know me. I play my random genre of games.
Yeah, that's fine. You might actually like Massive Chalice. You should give it a whirl. I don't know if you'll like it to bits, but you might like it enough that you'll play it for a couple of evenings. Because the whole idea with Massive Chalice is that it's like... The only problem with it is that everyone is an expender, bro. So you will get your guys and there's no way that they're going to win. Like, none. But the thing is that what happens as they go along is they kind of... it's all armies, and they'll pass their traits on to their kin. So, like, you will send off an army, and the general will have a wife back home. And she will eventually have kids, and the kids will inherit some of his traits. And then you'll go and fight the war with those people. And slowly but surely, your army is supposed to get better because of the selective breeding that you do. So it has some like tendencies to it, but I don't know if you'd be crazy about the kind of war aspect of it. So, but yeah, Massive Chalice. Don't buy Space Base DF9. That is actually a simulation game, but don't buy it because it's broken. What he did was, they got some of the way through the development of Space Base DF9, and I think that what happened was that from Double Fine's side, it looked like it just wasn't taking off enough. And so Tim Schafer was like, sorry, we're cutting this project loose. We're giving you the source code. Have fun. And people had paid him at this point for a broken product. So don't buy Space Base DF9. But I can't...
Oh, you know what? I want to backstep a second. I'm sorry, go ahead before I do that.
Oh, okay. I just don't know if there are any other games that they made that you'd be interested in tonight. That's all I was going to say. Okay, screw this. You wanted to backstep.
Yeah, I want to backstep a second because I just remembered one of these early access titles that is actually a good buy.
Oh, yeah?
And I want to tell people in case they actually listen to this. War for the Overworld. If anybody ever played Dungeon Keeper.
Oh, yes.
And like Dungeon Keeper.
That's what...
War for the Overworld is Dungeon Keeper, and they knew that straight off, and they even talked to Bullfrog about that, the original developers, the teams that are not around anymore.
Yeah.
And they basically made almost a straight up copy.
Oh, that's pretty
there are
cool.
a few things that are different, and it's not totally developed yet. It's taken a long time to get there. My sister bought it. I don't actually have it, but I was watching her play it, and she let me sit down and check it out during Thanksgiving for a while. And it's 100% the same thing, and it's really, really cool. The voice actors even seem like some of them are from the original
that's
team.
neat. That is really good.
Yeah, and the developers seem to listen to people, and there've been a lot of support, and that is one of the early access titles that is worth having. So anybody out there that is doing those, and you played Dungeon Keeper, liked it. Some people hated it, but at any rate, that's where it's going.
The other thing that is worth playing that came out of early access is Kerbal Space Program, and what was I thinking of? Armello. Armello came out of early access, and that's evidently very good. But I mean, you have to
I'm sure there's more, but
yeah, they're few and far between, unfortunately.
It's a crapshoot for sure, though.
It is a bit of a crapshoot. I mean, you never know what you're gonna get. And that's why I can't support this idea of early access. I like the idea of it, and realistically, I think it gives more indies a better shot at going gold. It really does. It gives them more space to be able to do more things and try more stuff. Because if they've got a fan base, the fan base can tell them, look, instead of just your internal playtesters, we can see as a big fan base, this is not working, don't do this. Or this is really working well, keep going this way. And that's really good, and I'm grateful that there are communities like that now. But, I have a moral problem.
But you also have to be constructive as a community, not just go in there and see like, fuck, you guys suck, I hate this. That's not constructive.
That's not constructive.
People have to be constructive about it. They have to go in and say, look, this is fantastic, or yeah, this isn't really working. Maybe do something else, or be reasonable.
Yeah.
Be good people about it. Don't go in and call them names and.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
If you say something is not good, go and substantiate it. Why is it not good? If you're just saying it doesn't feel good, that doesn't help. It has to be qualitative feedback that they can take and say, hey, we see where you're coming from. We can try and address this. But the one thing that I was going to say, I have a moral quandary, though, with this whole thing of people buying into a beta, because that's not how a beta should be, really. So one of the things that we talked about just before this podcast happened was there's a game that I'm really kind of curious about called Chronicle by Jagex, who make RuneScape. For those of you who've been around a long time, RuneScape is an MMO that kind of predates by a little World of Warcraft, and it was built to run in a browser. And it's pretty cool for what it is. So they're taking the RuneScape world, and they're putting a CCG spin on it, much like Heroes of Warcraft Hearthstone did with Hearthstone itself. And now what I'm seeing is that they're actually selling keys to get into that beta. I'm not a fan of that,
Yeah, buying into a beta is not cool.
No.
Betas should be given, you should be able to apply for a beta and be chosen for a beta.
And that's kind of why I'm not crazy about early access, because it's selling access to a beta or an alpha.
It's a paid beta.
Yeah, and I'm not crazy about that. It is good. It's getting more people to see your game, but it is also bad because it is turning the alpha. It's turning the alpha into something that it shouldn't be, which is paid access to check out the game. Really, So
I think that, and I may be mistaken about this. There's a lot of this. We're not real sure about this kind of stuff, but I'm going to say it anyways, because I believe that Steam is now offering refunds for a period of time if you buy something like that and find out that you don't like it. You can actually get your money back. But it's a very short amount of time, though.
It's a short window. It's like 2 hours or something. So if you buy something,
it's a very short amount of time.
And you're like, I don't like this, but you have to figure it. And the problem with gaming is that you can't really determine that within 2 hours. That's very difficult to say because some games like JRPGs, they have tutorials that span 10 or 12 hours. Then the game lets you go and says, "Good luck, off you go." So in 2 hours, what you're gonna have seen is basically the introduction to the tutorial, you know, and 2 hours is not a good enough window. GOG's window's a little bit wider, but it's not really wide, you know. Yeah,
what was that albino hunter game that we played that day? That was like
35
minutes of dialogue just before you could even do anything. Yeah, that's one of those.
Yeah, you know, like
which I did buy because it was 15 cents. You know,
I know, right?
Who's losing with 15 cents? Come on.
Yeah, and I mean, you got 35 minutes of dialogue for 15 cents.
That's right. You made your money. Yeah,
you got something for that. Oh goodness. But yeah, I am not really a fan of early access in that sense. I like it because there are aspects to it that I think are great. Community building is great. Finding the flaws in the beta are great. You know, that kind of thing where you got engagement. That's all good. But I'm from a different era, and you shouldn't be having paid betas.
No,
that's just my take on it.
I 100% agree with that.
You know, and that's really all those are, is paid betas.
Yeah. They absolutely are. I understand. Well, I don't know. I say it now out loud, and I'm thinking about it at the same time. I get kind of get like pre-ordering a game and then being allowed into a beta. That sort of makes sense. It's like a reward for doing. But to buy a key so you can get into a beta, as a beta key, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Right.
It's paying for the game twice.
Yeah, effectively.
Because they're not going to give you the game just because you paid $10 for a beta key or something like that. Or most people don't.
You will have to probably pay something on top of that to actually get the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. This has been an episode all about money.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're sorry.
Well, that's what it's about anymore. I mean, the gaming companies don't make games for gamers. They make games for themselves.
They make games to make money at this point, which is pretty sad.
It used to be gamer companies were gamers making games for gamers.
Yeah.
Like back in the day with Sierra when they first started. Those were gamers making games. That's how they started.
Yeah.
Now it's not really like that. You know, ID was that way. ID Software, the people who made Quake and Doom and all that stuff. They were gamers.
When they put that company together, they were still in high school. They were like 14 and 15.
Yeah.
They weren't very old, you know. There's a funny story about that. They tried, because Sierra were the big people on the block at that point. They took that game, they took Doom to Sierra, and they said, "Look, we think that you'll sell boatloads of this game. You should get behind it." And Ken Williams is like, it's too violent. And he walked away.
Yeah.
And he walked away for millions of dollars.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, that happens all the time, right?
It does.
People like, people in movie roles turn down projects like
it
that.
Does.
Who was, I can't remember now offhand. Who was it that was supposed to originally be Han Solo? And he turned that down. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
You know, and
and then they picked Harrison Ford, who was like a relative unknown at this point, and so it was Mark Hamill. It was Mark Hamill, and then he got huge from those movies.
Yeah.
And he didn't do much else after that.
But he didn't necessarily get huge from those movies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but him voicing the Joker is the more memorable thing for me.
Right.
Than actually him playing.
Yeah, and I've heard about that. I've never watched those Batman
episodes.
He
does fantastic.
I have heard that. He's 100% like awesome in those, I guess.
It's the creepy kind of grab you voice that you only get once in a while, and he does it fantastically.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, you know, it's just the games industry is really different now. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, and I understand a lot of I hate the new game industry stuff, and I'm not a huge fan of the way it's going because it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, it will only get worse.
But
I mean,
I'm still enjoying some of the things that are brought out. My thing is play value.
Yeah.
Play value and replay value. You got to be able to play a game for more than 5 hours if you spend $60 on it. And I'm not talking about multiplayer. That doesn't count.
yeah,
That's not a game.
it must be a
That's a
story.
bunch of people getting together.
right?
If you're playing something for 150 hours, that's wonderful. But if it's all the same map blowing each other up, that doesn't count. I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
I really there are games out there. For instance, Just Cause 3. So far, I've got I think close to 70 hours into it, and it's story and it's everything is happening. Now I realize there's not a whole lot to do in there, and it's all the same game. But the fact is, the play value's there. It's worth the money as far as I'm concerned. Time. I'm one of those that look at games for dollar per hour aspect.
right. That makes sense to me.
Some are better. Some are better than a dollar per hour aspect. Some games they feel complete and good at 5 hours and spending money.
Yeah,
That's okay. But most are not.
Right.
And they're big titles. Well, how long is the story in Call of Duty?
not very.
How long is right. And how long are stories in a lot of newer games? Assassin's Creed maybe is a little longer, but their games are awful. I don't like them.
Yeah,
Well, and again, that's my opinion. A lot of people maybe don't think that. There are a lot of people that love Assassin's Creed out there, and fine, whatever. But I don't know. I'm losing track of my own thoughts here, just thinking about this. The industry is gone shitty,
yeah,
basically, because they want to tell you, buy our game. We have 50 maps in this game, right?
right.
But it's not 50 maps. It's 3 maps divided into so many sections that they can call it 50.
Yeah, there we go.
Or, it's a lot of like predatory advertising, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
But there are still the gems that come out of those. Some are less well known. There's I'm gonna go look at my library real quick here. I want to talk about this real fast if I can find it.
fair enough.
It might take me a second. So
That's fine, because
So-
what we're gonna do is we'll let you do that, and then we'll wind down because we're at about the hour mark. In case you heard my alarm, that was what that was.
okay.
So go and find your game that you want to talk about very quickly, and then we'll just start wrapping it up.
I'm trying now. I don't even remember what the title starts with.
Man,
It's a
I've been
shooter.
so quiet this episode.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, you've been.
Oh,
been-
well, thanks.
You were playing,
Yeah, we
but
don't
you're
need to
not.
listen to you.
I don't even need to say anything to you.
We
You're not
were
welcome here.
were watching you play SimCity. Now we're watching you with your browser. You might want
Oh.
to not let us watch you do that with your browser.
You can see my browser?
Yes,
Yeah.
How do you see my browser?
because you alt tabbed at some
it's
point.
like you're all something.
But it's
Oh.
fine. I've alt tabbed away so that people don't see your browser.
You shouldn't be able to see my browser. You're just video watching a game.
No, not anymore. We're now watching you with your browser.
Fuck. Yeah, you should not look at that. That's
Well,
my work
that's
login.
don't worry. I'm not looking at it at all. I alt tabbed as soon as you alt tabbed out of your game.
Huh. You shouldn't be able to see that.
Creepy. That's why I'm not looking.
Gray, you've been creeping on me this entire fucking day. Here, let me view all the games that you have here. I'm just gonna watch you now.
That's me. Sorry, no, it wasn't
there
like
it
that.
is.
I just wanted to help you find something to play.
I just wanted to make sure that I had to work.
Oh no.
Okay. I found it.
Okay.
This is a shooter. It's called Spec Ops: The
Oh,
Line.
Spec Ops: The Line.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear mixed things about that.
It shouldn't be mixed things. It should be amazing things. The game is awesome.
Okay.
It has one of the best stories I've seen in a shooter.
Yes.
Well, in anything.
Okay, hang on, wait a minute. But that story is completely emotionally manipulative. That's what I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. It is 100%. That's why it's so great.
Oh, okay.
The whole time you play, you think you're doing something, and then, it turns out you're not.
You're doing a completely different thing. Yes.
100, yeah. It really that puts you so well into that guy's shoes.
Right.
it's really, really, really good, and it was worth it. It was $20 or something when I bought it. I don't know how much it was brand new. It's still worth $20.
Right. Fair enough.
The gameplay is probably, I don't know. I probably only spent maybe 30 hours in it, but that's okay. 30 hours is decent. And I mean, man, the challenge. The game's got a challenge. It's got. It's basically a hallway shooter. It's not as open world as it claims to be, but that's
right.
pretty much everything now. But man, I'll tell you what. I haven't played something that kind of hit me that hard in a long time. That was a. I'm not going to say get your box of tissues, but just be prepared to be hit in the feels because it's gonna.
Yeah. Right.
It's very good.
And that's fair enough. I'm surprised that there are shooters like that, but there we go. That's me and shooters. I'm not really into them. Anyway.
Well, and yeah, for the most part, they're not that awesome, but I mean, I enjoy them because it's kind of mindless fun, but that's not really mindless.
I mean, the last shooter I played from end to end was Portal, and the reason why I played that was because I liked the GLaDOS, basically. And I like the puzzle aspect of it, and that I thought was pretty cool. And people have argued with me that, like, technically, it's not really a shooter because of that. And I guess I can see their point.
Yeah, it's a shooter puzzle. I mean, you're not combating anything really other than just getting through a level. Yeah. But that's not. I classify it because you're shooting a gun and stuff.
Yes. Right, and that was exactly my point.
Even if it's just a portal gun, it's still a gun.
Still a gun.
You're firing a projectile.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, you have to make things die because there are those turrets that get in your way, and the only way to kill them is by making.
And they all have personalities.
Yeah, and the thing is that to get rid of the turrets, you really have to kill them, and the only way to kill them is to drop them from one place to another. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Or make them shoot each other.
Yeah. So in effect, you are playing sort of a shooter. But it's not technically a shooter. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
No, I was just gonna say it's not really it's not a shooter in a typical aspect, but it is still a shooter. I still think of it as a shooter.
Right.
As well.
Okay, so I have been Grey Wolf / Lost Wolf. I've had Test Knight with me, who is not playing. You were playing?
I was playing SimCity, and then you could see me logging into my work as your creeper.
No, I alt-tabbed away long ago. The minute you alt-tabbed your work thing, I was like, people don't need to see this.
Because you're only looking at a game capture. Freaking Gray's got cameras all over my room again.
No, I do not. Lies. I have also had Screw Loose with me, and this has been the Twinstiq podcast.
And you're all better for it.
Yes.
Yes, there we go. We will probably see. I don't know how it's going to work out towards Christmas time, but we will try and record up until as close to Christmas as we can, and we will put those out for you guys so that you can watch them. But thank you so much for listening. It's been
have a good one.
Great having everyone with me. We will see you around. Goodbye.